Why am I out at nighttime again? Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Hop on in. Hey guys, Sunday Fun Day. We have the Veloster right behind me. And then look at this guy over here. We're over at K5 Blue's new place. If you guys haven't seen his vlog, definitely go check it out because he has a vlog talking about his new pad, and that's where we're at right now. Check out the whip, the K5, which is why we know him as K5 Blue. But yeah, Sunday Fun Day. Oh yeah, new banner for both sides. Today, as you can probably tell by the little first snippet I just posted, we're gonna be removing the bumper and replacing the stock headlights with some affordable options that I'm gonna show you right now. Let's actually get those out real quick. So I'm gonna go with some Silver Star Ultra bulbs. These are pretty affordable for what they are. Again, I'm just going with budget priced little alterations, I suppose you could say. You can obviously go with an HID kit and you can get a cheap one probably for around the same price as these if you were to go to your regular auto store. I actually got these off of eBay for, I believe it was like $22. So, and they're actually the brightest ones that they offer. They have normal Silver Star, but I got these Silver Star Ultras in the H11B, the infamous bulb that these cars come with that everybody hates. You can see the little chart right back here on how bright it is and whatnot, if it'll focus. They do make a bulb called the ZXE. The reason why I didn't go with those is because they're actually meant a little more for style. So they would have a nicer whitish bluish color. But the reason why I went with these ones is these ones actually have the increased clarity, and you know, they're just brighter in general. And that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going for better visibility more than style. However, these are wider supposedly, so obviously we'll see later on at nighttime and we'll compare and see the big difference, and hopefully they're as advertised. So let's get to work. And real quick, you can actually see that the filament, the outside, the glass is actually coated blue, but where the actual filament lights up, it's clear. So it will supposedly give you that tint, you know, that nice whiter tint, but with increased luminosity. So yeah. All right, so we're starting this process completely butt backwards. So we're taking off the few bolts that we see that are holding the headlight down. So there's just two at the top, and there's actually one right underneath the bumper, right where the where the bumper attaches to the fender. So I wish it'd be as easy as just taking off these two bolts and being able to lift, you know, the headlight enough that we could get our hand in there. But maybe, obviously, Hyundai doesn't make things as easy as we'd like them to.
Maybe
so
in the next time when Hyundai sees us, they can realize, oh, maybe we designed something nicer.
Very nice. In case you're wondering why I'm not showing you how to take the bumper off completely, we kind of addressed that in a previous video. There's lots of bolts and stuff, so I'll put a link to that one down below if you guys care to see it. But we're just trying to kind of make this as quick and easy as possible. And also for those of you wondering about what the hell's going on with my hair, it's Sunday, I'm lazy, got no one to impress besides K5, but this will see me without my face on, so just kidding.
Baby, you're beautiful no matter what.
Stupid. For some reason, loud cars always want to swoop by when I'm trying to record. If it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not helicopters and airplanes, it's loud cars. Gosh darn it. So what we're gonna do real quick to try to make it easier is, obviously you saw that we took off the two bolts holding the headlights at the top. We mentioned there's one more underneath. What we're trying to do to not have to completely remove the bumper is we took off all the fasteners from up here. We're gonna take off the last one. And then we already pried the bumper from the side. I don't know if you could tell, but that last bolt right there is what's holding the headlight together. So we're gonna try, rather than take the bolts off from underneath, if we could just pull the bumper forward enough, we should be able to reach that no problem. I know some of you guys are saying, hey, I could easily reach that since I could see it. We got fat hands. Look at these beastly things. No. So, so don't talk crap. But we're gonna try to basically just reach that bulb, so that way we can just take off the headlight housing all at once, and then that'll make life much easier to replace the bulb. So if you're wondering what we need to unplug to be able to disconnect the bulb, each side has this little connector right here. And well, it's not little, it's big. That's what holds, well, that's what connects all of the functions of the headlight unit to actually work. So you'll just unplug that, and then you should be able to take the headlight off once you've taken it off, once you've removed all 3 bolts. All right, let's see. So we just were able to pull it forward like we tried, and oh, ta-da!
Oh yeah,
We're able.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
Before you guys do pull this out, make sure you guys disconnect your cable port to where it connects to the main light. Might want to do that because that way you don't yank out the actual harness.
But anyways, as you guys can see, the bumper is still technically on. We just loosened it up. This is where that bolt bolted onto. So yeah, so now let me since he's holding the headlight, let me demonstrate what it is that we're gonna take off. But first, let me open that little headlight bulb package. All right, so from the connector, these are the bulbs. Obviously, right here is the turn signal. This is the high beam. So the one furthest out, the hard one, is the headlight. And then up here is the parking light, which we disconnected a long time ago for the amber leads. So you'll just grab this, twist it, comes off, and then you see the bulb in there. So real quick, these are the replacement bulbs. Again, if you've never replaced bulbs, never touch the bulb itself. This is the stock halogen. So
it's got the gold tip.
None of that blue coating and no gold tip. The cool thing about these, I mean, even though we all hate them, is that you just put them in, and I don't know if you can see those prongs, they just slide in when you twist it, and that's what creates the contact. So we're putting it in now.
There we go. So make sure it's secure properly, and literally this is all you have to do. Just slide. It is tight, but once you get that in there, you're all set.
It's twisted on there now. As you can see, this side is where the prongs are, and they slide into this to create the contact. So you just tighten it up. And then last thing is, obviously, don't forget to put your dust cap back on. Whoa. Okay, so I was taking forever to do this. There's a little arrow right there that tells you where it lines up. See how it says open?
Lock. Not to mention that there's little borders right there, so you just know where to align it.
And you'll basically feel some tension as you lock it. So that's it. Now we're gonna try to assemble this again. Well, we're gonna put it back, and then we're gonna take off the other one. And then obviously just reverse process, reassemble everything. By the way, before you guys bolt everything back up, I'd suggest turn on the lights and make sure that they're working. We clipped it back on right now. We haven't bolted anything back on. We're gonna replace the other side bulb real quick, and then we'll make sure that everything turns on nice and easy. And then we'll show you the finished product. Also, one tip of advice, because I did mention that because these are brighter, they're not gonna last as long. Just in case you burn out a bulb, when removing the old one, I would suggest not touching the actual halogen portion, and then maybe holding onto them in case the bulb eventually does die out and you need a replacement. Otherwise, if you guys are ballers, you could just, buy new ones when that happens. But trying to save you guys some money. This headlight's back in. This one we just took out, and we're just reconnecting. One thing to give you guys a heads up, if you're having a little resistance taking off the headlight, it kind of clips on to this portion of the bumper. So just be gentle when you guys pull it out, so that way you're not damaging the bumper itself, because there's multiple little clip areas. So yeah. And one fun fact, if you guys end up breaking this portion right here where the bumper clips onto, you can actually, as you can see, it's removable. You can actually replace that part. It runs normally around $42 odd from the dealership, but if you guys look around online or know somebody from the parts department, they can usually get it to you for around like 25 bucks.
Okay, so since Shay's being lazy, he's not being lazy, but he's just trying to turn on the car, he gave me the direct duty of recording the lights when they turn on. So, ready guys? Ha! They don't work. Fucking failed. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I could kind of tell the well, let me turn off the fogs. But I could definitely tell that they're brighter just right now. Alright, well,
yeah.
they're both on?
Yeah, they're both on.
Cool.
Ta-da!
One thing I wish I could have captured is the moment I turned off the lights, there was like this really weird high-pitched buzzing humming noise. Well, we're gonna try to recreate it. But it does come off eventually. It was kind of freaking us out at first, but we believe that it's because after you exit the car, if you don't lock it, the lights on the inside of the interior, your basic dome lights, yeah, that sound. Yeah, there you guys go. See, it'll go away, so don't be paranoid. It has to do with the fact that the internal light doesn't dim out until you either lock the car or after a good like 10 seconds. So yeah. So 2 things to note, to be very careful. These edges right here, because of how pointy the headlight is, they're very easily prone to chip off your paint a little bit. So be mindful of that. I kind of did a little bit. You're not really going to tell unless people are staring at it, but if you're going for show quality, be very careful about that. Other thing is, until you put this bolt on, this part easily comes off. So just obviously don't forget to put that bolt back on both sides. We're pretty much done. We're just basically bolting back down both headlights, bolting this portion down in the clips, and then that's it. So right now I am parked, and I'm going to demonstrate to you what it looks like, you know, how I normally park the current beams. So these are the stock halogen bulbs, and as you can see, they're not bad. This is obviously what it looks like up close, and I'm only showing you this, guys, I'm only showing you this to show you guys the color it projects and emits from the stock projector with the stock halogens. In a moment, I'm gonna move the car, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like at a distance, and then I'm gonna find a road that's much darker so you guys can kind of see the difference. Also, to show you guys while I'm here, I recently switched my bulbs to yellows for my high beam DRLs, and honestly it's more of a style upgrade, so I'm going to show you what it looks like, because right here you'll probably see that they're much more yellow, but they're not actually a better option for increased brightness, so do that at your own risk. But here you go. So those are the high beams, and as you can see, it's a much more yellow light that's being emitted. So yeah. Alright guys, so this is a dark road with no extra light emitting from, you know, street lights or anything, or houses, so that way you guys can see how far the beam is on stock lights. It looks white on the camera for some reason, but it's actually very yellow. And I'm actually going to show you what the high beams look like as well. So there's your high beams, and as you can see, it's actually not much better. It does go further than the stock, but not by much. And actually, you can't really tell how much further it goes on this video, besides the fact that you could probably see it shining on that yellow sign up there that's coming up. Yeah, see how it's not reflecting? So again, it's completely for show. So these are the high beams still on, just showing you. See? So yeah, completely for show. These are back to the normal headlights. So yeah, these are the stock halogens on this dark road, and I'm going to show you for comparison's sake in a moment what it's like in a more lit area. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, so this right here is the parking structure for my apartment complex. I'm going to refer to this as the 50-yard test. So as you can see, the cool thing about projectors is that there's obviously a light cutoff, so it doesn't shine upward, and obviously, you know, gets into the oncoming traffic's oncoming cars line of sight. However, so these are the stock bulbs, and I don't know if you could tell from here, but it basically goes the full 50 yards. It cuts off right at the bottom of that fire hydrant. I don't know if you could tell, it's gonna get blurry, but that right there is a fire hydrant. So that's as far as this light emits. These are again these stock halogen bulbs, and I'm gonna put on the high beams again just so you guys can see high beams. Again, they are yellow, and they do obviously illuminate brighter than your stock bulbs, and there's the difference. You can actually tell now that it is a hydrant of some sort, and obviously the color difference. So these are high beams off, and see how it cuts off. Also, if you're noticing that there's light at the bottom kind of spewing out, that's because of the fog lights on. So in case someone's saying, hey, you know, the stock lights shine brighter towards, you know, the left and right angles, that's because when you turn on the high beams, these cars actually turn off the fog lights. So I'll turn off fog lights right now. So there you go. That's the actual projection without fog lights and with fog lights. So fog lights off, and you can even see even more clearly now how much less light you're getting with the stock halogen, and then the difference the high beams actually make. So huge difference with high beams, obviously, because that's what they're meant to do, as opposed to no high beams. So I'm gonna turn on the fogs again. Yeah, there we go. Real quick, actually, lastly, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like, you know, if you're looking at it head on. So as you can see, the LED ring and the little eyeliner, or whatever you like to call it, has that nice white look. And then you can see this is the stock bulb. It's got kind of a yellowish tint to it, so it doesn't look as nice and white as the actual LED portions. Same with the fog light bulb. It's really hard to capture this as a daytime running light, just because of the fact that you can't have the handbrake up in order to see it, and I don't have an automatic transmission, so the car would end up rolling back. But let me show you what the high beam looks like. So that's what the high beam, and as you can see, it's yellow. And just to show you, see the fog light comes off. There's the difference on the yellow high beam to the stock halogen and the white LED. So pretty big difference in contrast. It does look nice though, I won't lie. Alright guys, so day 2, and this is with the new headlight bulbs. Same color, so slightly disappointing. It does look whiter, it doesn't look as yellow. I'm pretty sure on the camera it looks just as yellow. However, it is illuminating dirt. So in a moment we're gonna go to the darker road to see if it does give us at least more illumination for distance, and then we'll do my little makeshift 50-yard kind of test to see the difference, and then I'll show you again comparison with high beams. So let's continue on with that. Alright guys, so I'm coming up on that long straight road from yesterday that I was on, and it actually is much whiter light than the stock halogens, so that advertisement portion is true. I do see increased longevity, or not longevity, I'm sorry, but I do see increased range in where the light's hitting, and the fact that I do see reflection from street signs a lot further away. I don't think you could really tell in this video, but it's actually quite impressive for me, because it is brighter. Again, this video might not be depicting it very well, but I can see a lot more than what I was used to seeing with these stock halogens. So right off the bat, I do definitely agree that these bulbs are brighter. They do have a slightly longer range, and they do make a difference. Hopefully in comparison video, you know, we'll be able to see that, but and again, it's not as white as what you're seeing on the camera, but it is whiter, that it's not that nasty yellow. Alright, real quick guys, I'm back to the stretch of road because I actually wanted to demonstrate something I just saw. So, you know, before it made a big difference if I had the fog lights on. I'm actually going to turn them off. You see that they're on? They're off now. So it's still the exact same brightness with the fog lights off, almost as if I had the fog lights on. I'm going to turn the fog lights back on. And so it does give you more spread to the left and right, but when you turn them off, it's not, you know what I mean? It's only the lower portion, so you're still getting range. I mean, it's looking really drastic on this camera, but also the high beam. So there's high beams on, and this is without the high beams on. So as you can see, these bulbs are definitely brighter. Again, obviously take it with a grain of salt because I do have yellow bulbs, but the only difference on the high beams is it's giving you the range, as you can see on that sign, as opposed to, but it is much more focused and wider and brighter. So yeah, now to show you that 50-yard thing. Alright, so this is my little makeshift 50-yard test, and again, you can see a much wider light rather than the yellowish light from the other bulbs. And I'm gonna try to zoom in, but you can see that little, you know, fire hydrant. It's a little darker. I guess it's darker today. Maybe there's more ambient light, but again, as opposed to the high beams. So you can see it there. And these are regular, but yeah, you can already see that it's much wider. So that's kind of cool because it does give you style. If you're looking at it head on, I'm going to show you right now what it looks like looking at the actual headlight itself directly. But then I'm going to turn off the fog lights again, just to kind of demonstrate that. Before, the fog lights would actually assist in the reach of your light beam, but now you actually don't need them. It's only assisting at the most bottom portion right there where you can see that splash. So I'm really impressed overall, but let's look at them from the outside. All right, so we're coming out to the front, and as you can tell, It still has a yellow tint, but it's not as bad. Not if you look directly. It's actually much whiter than yesterday. I'll show you the difference. So the fog light has the normal halogen, and you can see it's a lot more kind of that nasty yellow, as opposed to the much whiter light that's actually coming out from the projector dome. So if you look at it directly, you can obviously tell that it's still a halogen. However, for the price that you're paying, it's actually not bad, and it is brighter. Definitely, I'll agree to that. I'll show you the high beam in a moment. So again, there's the comparison with the high beam on, and the high beam's obviously much brighter because it's a high beam, and it also doesn't have the halogen. I'm sorry, it also doesn't have the projector to do the light cutoff, so you're seeing the full luminosity of it. But I am really impressed, really happy with the way this bulb came out. So for 20 bucks, if you can find it, you know, 20-25 bucks, it's a worthy investment. I definitely give it a thumbs up. It's money well spent, especially if you're not trying to do all the crazy extras of doing an HID kit. And to be honest, I feel like it's probably a better bet than going LED for these headlights, just because of projector domes. Now, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you have a Veloster, but if you have a nav, I'm guessing that these bulbs would actually be much better because they don't have the light cutoff from the projector dome. It would be more like the high beam, where it just kind of splashes on the back, and it would probably take more advantage of the bulb itself. So yeah, for those of you guys, you know, dealing with that H11B bulb, the dreaded one, this is actually a pretty cool, really easy, cheap mod or slight upgrade. Okay, just no, it wasn't Mario, dude. Negative points for you not knowing where that came from. Horrible.
Mario.
It wasn't Mario. For those of you guys, I'm gonna play that sound clip. Hopefully, I don't get flagged. You guys tell me what game that came from, and I'll give you 5 points.
Zelda?
No, it wasn't. Oh my god. Can we please fire this guy? Like, this guy's horrible.
Oh my
Again,
God,
I'm gonna play the jingle right now, and you guys can tell me what game that's from. Anyways.
Let me find out. Now you're gonna make me